friends, welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you stopped by for this 29-week pregnancy update. If you're new around here, I really appreciate you stopping by and clicking on this video. Please stay a little while longer and become a subscriber. I'd really love that. If you're an old comer, is that a word? Old comer? Thanks for coming back to watch this video. I hope you're enjoying this pregnancy journey, this pregnancy series. It's been just so fun to do ever since week 5 of my pregnancy, which is just crazy that we're already at 29 weeks. And I know I say that every single week, but it's like every week's a big milestone, right? And I have some interesting things to share in this video. So let's get started. So as you can see, also this background still, we are still in our stairwell apartment here in Germany, but this will be my last, at least pregnancy update. I might be doing one other video, like a non-pregnancy update video here, but this will be the last pregnancy update in our stairwell. So because on Friday, this is Wednesday, on Friday we move into a hotel before we go back to the States. So I can't believe that. All right, but about pregnancy. So let's do my pregnancy statistics. As I said last week, I don't know what my weight is because our scale has been packed up and gone. My belly circumference actually decreased this week. It was 39.5 last week and it's down to 39 this week. And I'm guessing it's because I lost weight, and I will share more with you why I believe I lost weight. Okay, baby size. This week we're going with the website babysizer.com, like I mentioned last week. Baby is the size of a gallon jug of milk, which just sounds really, really huge. And they also say that he's about 2.5 pounds. And I also know that the baby is still breech, or at least he was on Saturday. So I will get to that on how I know that in the next section. All right, the next section is my symptoms. And the two main symptoms of this week, of week 29, has been being tired, just like unusually tired. And TMI warning, we're going to be talking about bodily fluids. So if you're uncomfortable with that, which if you're watching pregnancy updates, you should know that some of this can be a little TMI. So this is your chance to slide away from this video if you don't like talking about TMI things. Okay, here it goes. So I have been unusually tired this week, and I've been having chronic diarrhea. Yes. All of my apps and that Baby Sizer website, they're all saying like, oh, you're probably constipated. I'm like, I am the exact opposite from constipated. I mean, I don't know what's worse, being like legit constipated or having diarrhea. But yeah, so here's the story. I will tell the story. This will be like the main part of the video. So on Thursday evening, so almost a week ago, I started having some diarrhea. It continued on Friday, and I was just so tired. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. You know, you're losing fluid so rapidly with diarrhea, and I probably wasn't replenishing enough. Mark did get me some bananas and Gatorade, which I started eating and drinking, and it just wasn't going away. So then Saturday, it continued. I probably had like at least six episodes within 24 hours. And so finally on Saturday, I was like, you know what? I'm getting worried about this. I normally wouldn't be worried about diarrhea like that. It's not like it was excessive. I'm not going to go into my whole health history, but I have dealt with this like much worse over 5 years ago. I was really, really sick. Lost 10 pounds in like a month. It was awful. But I wasn't pregnant at that time. And because I'm pregnant, I just felt more worried. So I decided to call the TRICARE nurse line. So if you're a military spouse and you have a medical question, call the free nurse helpline. through TRICARE, and you can talk with a registered nurse. I mean, I'm a registered nurse myself, and so I kind of figured that I probably needed to go to the hospital just to get checked out, but I wanted to like confirm that with somebody else. And so she asked me all these questions. She was very detailed and very good. And her ultimate conclusion was, if you weren't pregnant, I would just say to manage this at home, eat plenty of fluid or drink plenty of fluids. But because you're pregnant, I really want you to go be seen within 24 hours. So I was like, well, might as well go now. Like, nothing is changing. So Mark took me to the local private Catholic hospital that is just like down the road from us. It's like less than 5 minutes. And I got checked in. I went to the ER and they checked me in. The lady was super nice. She spoke really good English and got me checked in and then set me up to the labor and delivery floor, which I believe it's either after like 20 or 24 weeks, probably depends on the hospital. And you go to the ER and you're pregnant, they send you to L&D. So they sent me up to L&D and I was there for several hours, and they put me on they had me lie down on the bed and put me on a contraction monitor and a baby heart rate monitor. So very similar to what you would have like while you're in labor. And they had me on that monitor for probably about an hour, and everything was fine. Baby's heart rate was perfect. I was not contracting. Well, I guess I can use this as footage for my next pregnancy update. I am here in the local private Catholic German hospital, being monitored because of some chronic diarrhea, gastro issues that I've been having. The nurse line said to come in and get seen and just get checked, make sure I'm not dehydrated, make sure I'm not having contractions. And so I've been on this monitor for maybe close to half an hour. So baby is moving as normal, but they just want to check. So I'm going to show the room. So first of all, the bed is like really big. It's like a double bed. And it's very, like, the lights are really dim. They have some sort of AC or circulation. It's not that cold, but I'm actually a little warm. You can see over there, it's like, this is labor and delivery room. So that's a scale for the baby. Stirrups right there. And they have this, like, what do you call that? Like a rebozo or whatever. So you can hang on to that during labor. There's Mark, there's Mark. And then it's like a squat bar. Just kind of nice. And, you know, they have some decorations, which makes it feel a little more cozy. And then behind there is like the medical equipment and supplies and everything. But it's really nice that it's behind these cabinets, because then you don't have to look at all that stuff the whole time you're here. So it feels more like a bedroom. And they have this nice lamp, contraction and heart rate monitor. So anyway, if I was going to give birth here, this would be a really good place to do it. Then they took blood. They took a blood sample to see if like I had an infection. And then the doctor did an ultrasound. That's how I know that baby is still breech, or at least was breech on Saturday. This is Wednesday now, but I've kept feeling his butt like in the same spot, so he's probably still breech. You know, I'm not at any risk for preterm labor or anything like that. The only thing that came up abnormal was my sodium was a little low, which makes sense because the diarrhea, you're just like flushing out liquid and electrolytes. And so they were like, just make sure you drink 2 to 3 liters of water a day. We had stopped by the commissary and gotten some Pedialyte, and Mark like pulled the Pedialyte bottle out of my bag and was like, hey, is this good? And she's like, oh yeah, that's really good to drink. She said to eat salty foods. And I had actually at that moment, I had been snacking on some gluten-free pretzels, and she's like, that's really good. Like, keep eating that, because to get your sodium back up. And yeah, and her conclusion was that the diarrhea could actually be part of pregnancy or like caused by pregnancy, which I didn't really take that very seriously at first because I just never heard of that. And I was like, I don't know. How could pregnancy be causing chronic diarrhea? But then I started doing some reading and I started hearing from some people on Instagram after I shared this. Yes, I share about diarrhea on Instagram. I'm a nurse, like poop, right? And so I started reading and hearing from other people that actually diarrhea in your third trimester is not abnormal. I was reading that in particular on the American Pregnancy. Maybe I'll put a link in the description box from the American Pregnancy Association, that it's not uncommon to have diarrhea. Now, diarrhea can also be precipitate labor, so it can be like an early labor sign, but I'm in no way, shape, or form showing signs of preterm labor, so it's probably not that. The doctor was just like, you're getting bigger, the baby's getting bigger, and things are getting cramped and squished, and your digestive system maybe is just, it's in distress because of that. My theory is that it's originally started because I ate Brussels sprouts. Over 5 years ago is the last time I had Brussels, and I love Brussels, but they give me diarrhea. And on Wednesday, I had this healthy frozen meal. It was like chicken and wild rice and Brussels sprouts. And for whatever reason, I was like, you know what? I'm going to have some of them. I'll probably be okay. I didn't even eat all of them. And then the next day is when it started. So my theory is that it got kick-started by eating the Brussels, and then maybe because of pregnancy and things being squished and just my anatomy being short-waisted and not having a lot of room in there, that it's just really, it's hard for my digestive system to recover from that. So that's what I'm going with. It's not a virus. I'm not contagious. I can't say with 100% certainty, but it's been going on this long. I'm not sick. I'm not ill. I haven't vomited. I do get some stomach cramping, and they did give me an over-the-counter, or they wrote a prescription for over-the-counter anti-diarrheal and anti-cramping medication. So I've been taking those, but I've had one episode today of diarrhea, and I thought it was over. Yesterday I didn't have any true diarrhea, and I was like, okay, it's like tapering off, and then I had it again pretty significantly today. In 1 week from today of filming, I have my first prenatal appointment with my OB in California, and so obviously if it's still going on, I'm gonna bring it up to him. Okay, so other than that, and my energy really is mostly back because I was eating a bland diet for several days, and I think that, like, combined with the water loss, was just making me really lethargic. And I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna take the anti-diarrheal medication and just start eating normally again, because I just can't do this to myself being pregnant. So I have been eating more normally and just taking the meds and just doing symptom management, basically. That's all I can do at this point. That's not my ideal, but that's what I have to do. Still having some round ligament pain. Sleeping is a little better because we got 2 like mattress paddings to put on this horrible bed, and that helps tremendously. So that's great. Okay, let's do cravings and aversions. My cravings, everything I've seen on Instagram this week. Because of the bland diet. It's like when you're on a bland diet, you're eating applesauce and white bread and rice and broth, everything looks good. Like everything I saw on Instagram, all the rest of it, I follow a lot of foodies, and just everything looked good. I wanted it all. No aversions. Okay, and then finally something new. Really the only thing new is the chronic digestive problems, and we have already hashed that out plenty. So I guess I could also say we're a couple of days from moving out of this place. So that's it. Yeah, that was my week, basically dealing with diarrhea. Really fun. And getting ready to move out. So if you are pregnant and you are experiencing chronic diarrhea, or you have, that's been you in your pregnancy and you had that for an extended period of time, please let me know so that I don't feel so alone in this. I know other people have it. Constipation really is more common in pregnancy because of your surging hormones, but not me. So give this girl some solidarity below. I'd love to hear from you and your diarrhea story. Leave the poop emoji if you enjoyed this video. All right, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And in the meantime, take care, everybody. I hope you don't have digestive problems like I do, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.